Okay, the number of times I've had to restart this thing, clear out choppiness of it. I'm hoping it works this time. So, got the fold put in. We got that top edge where it's folded over to match up with the waistband. What we're going to do now that it's in, because a lot of this isn't going to be visible, what we're going to do is stitch that down. We don't got to go all the way to the ends, we just got to go as far back as the foot will sit, right there. We're stitching on the line of the serge, so the stitch is hidden from this side. We do a back stitch at one end, and we're just going to stitch it across. Again, it being on the stretch, keep it from pulling and pushing, just hold it down, let it move at its own speed. Not difficult, but you know, it's a noticeable result at the end of it. Well, the trick really is keeping it flat. And again, you don't have to go all the way to the end, just where it sits, right there. As soon as the foot touches the next piece, you can back it off and do your top stitch or back stitch. There we go. Now that fold is finished, and I can show you what it looks like. Okay, lighting in here is hell, but there's where it's stitched in on the inside, so you can see that serge. There's the back of it, but you're never going to see that because it folds in. You might see a little bit of it if if the kilt's open a bit at the back to size it, but you're never going to see the whole thing. So that's what it's going to look like when it's done. Eyelets down the sides laced together. It's basically corseted, but it's not. Okay, so now that that one's in, I'm going to do the other two. So at this point, this kilt is down to two pieces. There's the body, which is here, and the apron. And that gets riveted on, so it's basically a whole unit. We add things to it now: belt loops, pockets, eyelets. That'll be it. So I'll do the other two and then show you when they're done. Alright, so we got all three of them done. All at the same stage. Fold plate's done in the back. Apron's ready, body's ready. Now I'm just going to do the belt loops next. And then we start doing the metal work. Well, I might do the pockets and the belt loops and then start doing metal work, but yeah, that's the last couple of stages left. So I'll show you when I start doing the belt loops. Okay, how long do I gotta go before it stops being choppy? Let's see if this works out. So starting day, well, Not really starting the day. I mean, it's noon. I just finished all my online stuff, posting videos up and updating Instagram, X, Discord. Next step on these kilts is doing belt loops. Not a difficult or complicated task. The difference being these things are so small that 1-inch wide belt loops would look ridiculously huge on it. So we're going to 3/4 inch, which is fine. So we're not going to need material off the roll for that since I have so many scraps. So set those up and I'll cut them to 1.5 inch instead of the 2 inch I usually do. So I'll cut them to 1.5 inch, a few scraps, and we'll make some belt loops. That might actually do a large number of them right there. Okay, so I'll cut those up. Now you're ready to serge them. So there's nothing really complicated or sinister or anything else about this. If people ask, well, how do you measure? Something I said before, there's always a way to measure. Example being, in this case, how do I measure 1.5 inches? These are 1-inch grid. Am I guessing it? No. This end of the square is 2 inches wide. This end is 1.5. So, make sure it's in a straight line, mark it up along the edge, put it in place, cut 1.5 inches. And when you get to the end, keep going in a straight line. If it's not 100% accurate, it's close enough. And remember, we have to do 18 of these. And unfolded, they're only 4 inches. So we now have how many? This one's already folded on the end. One end's already folded on the strip, so they're only going to have to be, that last one is going to be 3.5. So we got 4, 8, 12, 16, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. We just cut enough for 24, and we only need 18, so I think we're doing pretty good. I'll get those done up on the serger, and then we'll get to stitching them. So, using what is to hand, some of these already have a serged edge on them. It makes life a lot faster. You only have to serge one side. This thread tree is a tangled up mess, but it's going to run fine. It's a tangled up mess because recently for Thanksgiving, I had to have all the cats in here, so I had to cover it. Let's see what we get at the end of this. Well, looks like we got a broken thread. Nice. Okay, I'll rethread that. Looks like it's the top thread. Great. So I'll rethread that. Then And I'll finish these, and I'll show you on the other machine.